It is Monday, October 19. Welcome to the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Hey everybody, how have you been doing? How have you been doing? How have you been doing? Welcome to Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7. Welcome to CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, SignRadio.net. Hello, 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 hello. It's about time you heard my voice. 21 minutes after 5 o'clock. It is Monday, and you know how we do on a Monday. It's music, it's talk, 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 talk. How was your weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. I did. And I'm here to sit with you until 7 p.m. this evening. Inside the Zone is the community platform where information is guaranteed. And on a Monday, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Hashtag host Lady D, hashtag ITC Radio, hashtag ITC Community Live. Email inside the zone nyc@gmail.com. My Facebook, Lady D Denise Gomez. And I do have a Facebook page called Inside the Zone. On Instagram, it's Lady D Denise Gomez. As always, on a Monday, I bring you the Monday Beat, Voices, Music Zone, a Jamaica Ting, keeping you in the know and community live. Chris Wilby of Caribbean Vibes Radio, he joins me at 6 p.m. this evening. I'd like to welcome you to a Monday afternoon with yours truly. And of course, today's feature is Sounds of Africa Monday. Sounds of Africa Monday. And so I have selections strictly African music just for you. So you can, jig, stomp, clap, something, beat a Congo drum if you have one. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Give me a call, say hi, how you do, Lady D? As you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this evening I'll be bringing you a feature, 2020 Breast Cancer Awareness Interview with Sisters by Choice. And more music with my Sounds of Africa Monday, a Jamaica Ting, Where Have All the Hampers Gone? It's a whole donkey story. Yeah, where have all the hampers gone? They're not making hampers as much as they used to. So I'll be giving you that, courtesy of the Jamaica Gleaner. At 6 o'clock, it's keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. We have so much to talk about. And in Community Life this afternoon, real stories of people's experiences, issues, and concerns as we see them. In our first segment of Community Life, Too Old to Date, grown children often dictate to their parents about dating. Where should the line be drawn? How dare you tell me when to date and when not to date? And also, you're telling me I'm old? Really? And I do have another feature on deportees, discrimination, isolation, and the hardship they face in Jamaica. And of course, Sandra Dale will be joining me because she has a personal experience with this. Not her personally, but a family member of hers. And so we'll be talking about that. He was deported to Jamaica, and man, oh man, it has not been easy. That's how we'll wrap up the show this evening on the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Welcome to the show, everybody. Please share on my Facebook page, Inside the Zone with Lady D live stream, or Inside the Zone with Lady D. Share with your friends. And by the way, when we use the term subscribe, you don't have to pay any money. But in order for you to see me pop up in your device whenever I'm broadcasting, all you have to do, you click subscribe. You'll see a bell pop up to the right. You click on the bell and then you'll see all. You click all, and you'll be brought into the know with me each and every time I am broadcasting. So it's not just about subscribe. You have to click the bell, then all, then you'll see everything that's going on here on the show. Are you ready for me to kick it off for you with the Monday beat? I do apologize. I came on a little late, and so I might only be able to play 2 selections of my African selections for you here on a Monday. But what can I say? It's music, and we are ready to go here inside the zone. The Monday Drive. It is now 26 minutes after 5 o'clock.
Yeah, hambanati. Yeah, hambanati. Siyabonga wa hambanatu Jesu. Hambanati. Yeah, wa hambanati. Yeah, wa hambanati. Siyabonga wa hambanatu Jesu. Hambanati. Yeah, wa hambanati. Yeah, wa hambanati. Siyabonga. Siyabonga. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga Twala Yesu. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga Twala Yesu. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga. Siyabonga. Katamaya liruna. Yeah, watamaya liruna. Yeah, watamaya liruna. Yalekuha. Watamaya liruna. Yeah, watamaya liruna. Yeah, watamaya liruna. Yalekuha. Siyabonga. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga Twala Yesu. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga Twala Yesu. Siyabonga Jesu. Siyabonga.
And of course, that's my first selection for you, and I should be able to give you a second one. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, welcome everybody to the show. And just want to say hi to you this evening. If you are tuning in alone and you say, oh man, I need somebody to listen with me because Lady D's on. Get the whip cracking. Share the link with someone on my YouTube channel page. Inside the Zone. Let's go, let's go. 104.5, 101.7 FM. Good evening to you, and you.
Steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away, steal away home. I ain't got long. I ain't got long. I ain't got long to stay here.
Yeah, that's the voice of course, Steal Away. That's the song. Steal Away, Teach Me to Dance. Want to say hi, everybody. And that's about it. That's all I can give you. That's all I can squeeze in this afternoon in, of course, my Monday beat because, I was a little delayed, but I do appreciate the fact that you are sticking and staying with me. As always, on a Monday afternoon, we bring you the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I've always brought a guest on, and I have not done that all month, but I do have a feature for you. So I'd like to share an interview with Sisters by Choice. Hello, everybody. You know, we have to look out for each other as women. That's what that is all about. So, good evening to you. And this is an informative segment that I'm sure you will find very interesting. Stay with me. What time is it? 5:31 p.m.
Behalf of Sisters by Choice, I would like to thank Kappa Omega chapter of AKA and your president, Lakeisha Jackson, for your continued support of Sisters by Choice, and more importantly, for your involvement in educating women about breast cancer.
There have been a lot of questions that I asked members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority to send in. And one of the biggest ones was the number one question is, what is breast cancer?
Breast cancer is no different than any cancer that we see. Cancer is where your normal cells mutate. Mutate means changes, and they grow. They outgrow your normal cells. Cancer cells invades your normal cell. Instead of pushing it away, it kind of invades and take over. And also it can spread from one part of your body, meaning the breast. It can spread from your breast to your lymph nodes. It can spread to other parts of the body, whereas a benign tumor simply just kind of grows and grows, and it takes up space, but it doesn't spread from one site to another.
Then how does it kill you?
It kills you by spreading to different organs and really taking over your body. When we talk about early breast cancer, we're talking about stage 0, stage 1, and 2. Usually those cancers are limited to the breast, and they're easier to take care of, treat. They respond better to the treatment that we utilize. When you have stage 3 and stage 4, and stage 4 is when the tumor has spread outside of the breast and the lymph nodes to other parts of the body, that's what causes it's really difficult for it to treat.
How is it detected? I mean, you talk about mammograms, but specifically, how do you see it in a mammogram?
The most important thing in doing a mammogram is that it's not just a mammogram once in your lifetime. You know, it's really and truly annual mammograms, because each year you do a mammogram, we can compare the changes from one year to the next, and that's the most important thing. We look for calcifications, and as said, we look for abnormal density. We compare your right breast to your left breast. We're basically symmetrical, and your right breast should look like your left breast.
So there are all types of breast cancer then, I would assume.
Over years of increasing, our knowledge and learning about, breast cancer, how it grows, learning the biology of breast tissue, we realize that there are many, many different types of breast cancer, and some are favorable and some, unfortunately, are very, very aggressive.
And the most aggressive, I understand, hits African American women?
One of the aggressive types, triple-negative breast cancer, is seen more in African American women, or is seen in a higher percentage of black women who get breast cancer. A higher percentage of them will have triple-negative breast cancer as opposed to white women. They have a lower percentage of triple-negative breast cancer.
There's a lot of controversy as to when you should begin screening, when you should get mammograms.
The average woman should get mammograms starting at age 40, and they should continue that mammograms annually. This is what I always tell them until they have one foot in the grave. I mean, because the older you get, the more your risk is getting breast cancer. The number one risk factor of breast cancer is being a woman, your gender, followed by increasing age, followed by your personal history, meaning that if you have a breast cancer in one breast, your risk for getting breast cancer in the opposite breast is increased. And fourthly, the having a family history.
If you have a history of breast cancer, or breast cancer runs in your family, then at what age do you start?
I start 10 years earlier with a cutoff of age 25. When you're young, the reason we don't do mammograms is because you have dense breast tissue, meaning that it's very difficult for the x-rays to penetrate and give you any significant information about what's going on in your breast. But if you have a family history of breast cancer, yes, you need to consider doing mammograms, as I said, 10 years early.
What about self-screening or trying to figure out whether you can examine yourself?
One of the things that every woman should be doing is examining their breasts. Sometimes, it will, take many, many months before you really feel comfortable examining your breast. But I think one of the tools that I try and teach my patients do what we call breast mapping, where you start examining your breast and you map out what you feel, no medical terms, in your own words, what are you feeling in your breast? Next month, you do the same thing, and you look at what you jotted down the previous month. And if you do that continually, because your breast will not change, from one month to the next. If you do that, you will find out what your breast tissue feels on and feel comfortable examining your breast. And so if you examine your breast and something has changed, you'll be the first person to pick it up.
If you're diagnosed with breast cancer, should you get a second opinion? Should you look at genetic testing? I mean, what do you do?
The most important thing is that you need to have trust in your physician and feel that they're going to give you the best of care. Second opinions are important. And you as a patient, and regardless of any field of medicine that you're dealing with, you have to feel comfortable until you get that comfort zone. Get in that comfort zone. I mean, I tell my patient to do what you need to do in order to move forward.
And I think a lot of patients are afraid to do that because they think the doctor is going to be offended.
They feel that, we're going to get upset with them. No, I think second opinions are always important. And if you feel you need one, by all means, get one.
I know a lot of people are wondering about the various treatments, and it obviously depends on the different stages that people are in.
Most people, it's a rarity that you don't have some form of surgery. Surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, or immunotherapy. Those are basically the different treatment plans that we use. And each patient, depending on the biology of the cancer, we will recommend different things.
You really have to look at everything.
When we initially approach a patient with breast cancer, our goal is to cure them. So we have so many tools that we can use to make sure that the patient get the best possible care.
Alrighty, welcome everyone. That was my feature this afternoon in Voices 2020 Breast Cancer Awareness Interview with Sisters by Choice. Looking out for our sisters. Make sure you get your mammograms done. I know it is painful. A lot of people have said so. I have said so myself. But of course, even when you do your own breast self-examination, we miss things, and it's important for us to get our mammograms done. So that's a wrap this evening on my Voices segment. I'd like to welcome everyone to the show, reminding you, please share my link with someone you know. Say, hey, I'm on Lady D's show, and it's a Monday Drive today. Why don't you listen with me and share it with someone you know? Let's build our platform together. 5:39 p.m. It's Inside the Zone, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. We do have at 6 o'clock New Zone, and we also have Community Life. Now, in Community Life, we have two topics to discuss. We'll see how best we can get through them. But the first one we are the first one we're asking is, too old to date, man or woman? Grown children often dictate to their parents about dating. Where should the line be drawn? And there's a second topic we have this afternoon on deportees, discrimination, isolation, and the hardship they face in Jamaica. Sandra Dale will be calling in because she has a relative who was deported to Jamaica, and now he can't get a job. Nobody wants to give him a job. You know, the questions that they're asking and the tone in which the questions are being asked, it's just hard to deal with. So she is trying to get him some help, And we some of us are resourceful people. We know people who know people, and so she is on a mission with that to get him some help in Jamaica. So we will be talking in that topic this afternoon, 5:41 p.m. Are you ready for our segment that I call, what we call the segment again? A Jamaica Ting. A Jamaica Ting. Where have all the hampers gone? I wonder who took the people them hamper. Somebody need to talk to me. 914-600-4228. Welcome, everyone.
It's a land of special people, a place where champions grow, a magical vibe, so much more than you will ever know. You can't ignore the music, reggae so profound, and when it comes to the track, you know that Jamaica won't back down. On top of the world, we're more than just an island in the sun. A great nation, Bob Marley say, welcome everyone to Jamaica, sweet Jamaica.
Yeah, welcome, everyone. Most of you know across the Caribbean, especially, we have donkeys, and donkeys are usually laden with whether it's our ground provisions or we're moving something from one location to the next, and we often just keep moving. The donkey, he goes, but some days he's saying, I wish you would just get off me. Right? Donkeys, we really don't treat them well. And there are people who do. They've given their donkeys a name. They take care of the donkey, and when it's market time or any form of transportation that needs to be taken care of, especially in the deep rural parts, they go to the donkey first. This past Saturday, I have a segment that I that I call Saturday Morning Runnings. And in Saturday Morning Runnings, I'm always featuring, some of, I go down a road of nostalgia, right? I feel nostalgic and I take that journey, and I'm either showing you something that used to happen back in the day, and it has jogged a lot of good memories and not so good memories for many. So this past Saturday, I did a video and uploaded it to my YouTube channel, and I shared my story about Uncle Ken's donkey and how I fell off the donkey, and thank God I didn't have a concussion, or my neck never break or nothing like that, but they had to give me some sweet sugar and water in a yellow mug. And so people have been responding to it and saying how funny it is. And of course, they empathized and said, luckily you didn't hurt yourself, Lady D. So I thought I should just continue in that vein. But this time it's about the hamper, right? We know that when we put the hampers on, laying it on the donkey left and right, and we pat the stuff in it, and we just say Jack and him have to move, which is exactly what I said to the donkey with my novice mentality. So donkey on gangly legs, slowly going downhill. On each of its sides is strapped a hamper laden with ground provisions. Man walking behind donkey. On his head is a round basket full of juicy mangoes. Woman coming from market. In her hand is a hamper basket loaded with miscellaneous food. I'm just talking about that is enough to jolt your memory, right? I do apologize. I had to speak out loud. Okay. Woman coming from market. In her hand is a hamper basket loaded with miscellaneous food. Youngster tossing his dirty khaki into a bamboo clothes basket. Basket traps are placed strategically. Let's see. Somebody's calling me. Let's see. Who would like to have a word in? Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Trudy Ann Yuan, and I'm actually here in the Bronx. I run a nonprofit organization that offers low-fee immigration services, and I
Okay.
wanted to know.
All right. So you're
I wanted to see
just a moment. You're calling a radio program currently in progress.
currently in what?
I'm on air live hosting my radio show at the moment. Are you calling
Okay.
to speak to somebody? Because this is a radio show that I'm hosting. So would you?
Okay. Is it Linkage Radio? Are you on another?
No, no.
I'm not on the air, am I?
Yes, you are. So that's why I'm about to say, hold on, hold on.
Okay.
So you're gonna.
Sorry about that. I didn't know I
That's
was on the air.
oh, yes, because we have our Skype, so it kicks right in. So you're calling to offer services or what?
Yes, I'm calling to offer services.
All right, I'd suggest you call back the office tomorrow so that you can have
What time?
call them at about 9 o'clock.
Okay,
Oh,
will do. Sorry about that. I didn't know you weren't. I'm on the air.
not a problem. Okay,
Okay,
bye bye.
take care. Bye bye.
All right. Of course, business has to go on. I do apologize for the break. Yes, so I continue. Youngster tossing his dirty khaki into a bamboo clothes basket. Basket traps are placed strategically to ensure shrimp and other river um, crustaceans. These are some scenes from Jamaican life of yesteryear. These snippets are still part of the mosaic of our vast social landscape, but they are becoming very rare, at least the utility items mentioned above. The use of and the art of making hampers, round baskets, hamper baskets, and other carrying items made of bamboo strips and other wood materials are rapidly declining. High technological mass production and present day tastes and sensibilities are significantly responsible for the decline, as acquiring the materials, processing them, and making the items can be somewhat time consuming and challenging, and there are cheap plastic replacement. Yet artistry can never really die, and one man who is keeping the hamper baskets and its cousins on life support is Everon White of Portland. He, who wanted to be a soldier, has been making these items as long as he can remember, starting out with the janga, a species of crayfish, baskets in his native district of Comfort Castle in Portland. He learned the art by watching his father, who earned a living from making bamboo baskets, among other things. He used them to make. He used to make them for a business. It sent me to school many times, and that's what he told a newspaper article some years back. And so, in recent times, the complaint has been that people can't get hampers. And we are asking the question, where have all the hampers gone? Because there was a time when there was no donkey that didn't have a hamper, unless you wanted to ride the donkey bareback. Pretty much, that was it. And so, if you have had your own donkey story with the hamper, what you put in the hamper, you can always let me know. I'll build a story out of it for you. And so this has been a Jamaica Ting, aired here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, on a Monday afternoon in the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside.
We're more than just an island in the sun. A great nation. My mind is saying, welcome everyone to Jamaica, sweet Jamaica. Come experience the culture. We do it like no other. Jamaica, sweet Jamaica. Come seek the island's treasure. Welcome to Jamaica. Don't you ever
Yeah, welcome to Jamaica. Welcome to Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7. And I'd like to say hello to signradio.net. That's Sign FM 88.9. And of course, Caribbean Vibes Radio. Of course, Caribbean Vibes Radio is coming out of the Chris Wilby administration. So good afternoon to you, Chris. We will be talking in 10 minutes. It's 5:50 p.m. Did I say it is Sounds of Africa Monday? Yes, it is. And I do have more selections for you for the voices out of Africa. Let me run like, let me gallop to the phone line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lady D. This is
Afternoon.
Horton.
My Hortens. Hortens,
Yes, ma'am.
you're galloping today?
Yes, my donkey trade. We used to put the wood in the hamper and the pumpkin and bean and corn coming from the property. Yes, yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
I
and
know.
we ride it.
Mhm.
And we ride the donkey come home. Yes, man. We stick the wood them, cut them short and stick them in the hamper, my mother. And when he come home, we protect them out and we have enough wood we cook. Yes. and the bean and the corn down in the bottom of the hamper. What? Yes, man.
Oh,
I
Lord.
remember again.
Good old
Me and my
memories.
friend. Yes.
Real good
I
memories.
remember me and my friend was riding a donkey going to meet somebody. We coming from the street. I got the back of the donkey and she in the middle. Almighty God, you didn't leave me. I get up and get up. The donkey fling she off for the head because she at the front. You know the middle, me at the end now. Can't get on. Run around one tree. Run around one big tree. And why you didn't hear me? Jesus Christ, quit me up to the wire now. I can't get up before my friend help me to come hold the donkey. She in the ground and while I laugh at me. Me say, Lord Jesus, that Saturday was one piece of something with me and she and the donkey.
So you have great memories like I do, except I fell off the donkey, Hortens, like drop off. And I was out for a little bit until when I was coming back to, I hear them saying, she'll come back to, and so they gave me sweet sugar and water.
When
Revive.
the donkey got thrown and I create pitch slide off her back, I'm going to kick. Let me kick you. Yes, man. Oh, my people. I tell you, I can't get off of this donkey here, you know. Oh, Lord.
Right.
Went to church.
Good.
And that same day, used to carry the board with the water. And the donkey go down to the mama board under the water.
You have good memories, Hortens.
Yes, man. Yes, man. And again, I can remember when they have a young donkey, I said them are broke. But they with the father and the hamper. Right, right. This one young donkey, young puppy. And the puppy get up in our aki walk and tear off everything off of him. Jesus Christ.
I love your laughter. I love your laughter, Hortens, and the things sweet you.
Hear me, mother. Hear me, mother. Me pack tackle mash up now. Me pack tackle mash up now. I'm going to kill him. The mother say, me pack tackle mash up now. Everything is cut off in the bush. Hear me, then you know it's the donkey feeling heavy from him. What you think him about a young puppy, you know? It feeling heavy from him. They know, say, I go get up with it. My God. Oh, Mama face. Mama say, you see you. The pack of the mash up. I'm going to kill you.
I hear how that sweet your Hortens.
I never forget that day until now, years ago. My God.
I can imagine. All right,
Mama,
I'm gonna love you and leave you. I have 5 minutes to go before news time. So call me back when you hear our discussion, okay?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Now, you remember when we got too young?
Yes, yes. I told him.
Okay.
All right, I did tell him. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Are you talking? Are you talking hamper or donkey?
Both, as you can see how it turned out. How are you, DL?
I'm well.
Mm-hmm.
I use donkey to you know, there's some people who carry their kids in the hamper. Ever seen it?
Yes, man. Especially those who had to cross the river.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Or other ways, and they stick the kids in the hamper.
You're right. And it's like how you see people put their children in the shopping cart today.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so funny. But donkey use. I mean, there's so many. I mean, as you rightly said it. You know, donkey was the go-to country people, and you're right. They treat these humble creatures so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, when a donkey retaliates, you know he has had it with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They've had it. They really had it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll kick the hell out of you. You can bite
You too. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like you're bothering me enough.
Mm-hmm. They'll bite
And they'll
you.
kick you and bite you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know something like a donkey love and you can't do anything with them if you do it?
What's that?
Put your finger in their ears and rub the little thing in their ears.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And it just...
If you want to,
Ah.
if you want to, you can do that. My grandfather taught me a little trick. And so whenever donkey is giving him trouble, or you know, they're padding him up, some they don't want you to pad them, they want to kick it off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to load them, you know, and they're not going to have any of that. You just go there, put up with them and rub their finger, put your finger in their ears. And there's a little thing inside there you rub, and they, you can do anything with them. They just, sometimes they'll go right down to the ground.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just soothe them, huh?
They like, huh?
You soothe them like that.
Yeah, it's very soothing. I like them. And sometimes, you know, like any other animal, they can be petted and they have a relationship with you. Sometimes, then you go beside them and then come up close to you and actually indicating to you that they want you to do it.
Oh, cool.
Because you're accustomed, because you have done it, and then they will come up to you just like any other pet, and come up to you and let you want to rub them. Exactly. And one more thing about donkeys. Have you ever noticed when after a hard day working to load off them, they drop on the ground and roll?
Yes.
You know what they're doing?
I don't know.
They leveling.
It's their way of rolling off all that pain and tiredness and strain.
Lord. Yeah.
They roll it off. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know human beings know that, but that's what they say. That's immediately unload them, they go right down and start to roll like hell. You have seen that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling out the pain and the stress and whatever it is they went through after all our day's work. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
So much for donkey life.
I appreciate. I see.
Huh?
I see Chris will be coming in, so it's that
Okay,
time.
good.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay. Bye. All right, Hortense, you're gonna have to hang up.
Yeah, you hang up here.
All right. Blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Lady D, good afternoon. How are you?
Has anyone seen Chris Wilby anywhere?
He's right here, mother, live and in living colors.
I tell you, and Caribbean Vibes Radio is kicking over, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Listening to you and the discussion and the donkey and all of that, you always come up with the most interesting things, right? So like I start running competition with Faye Ellington right now.
Oh, you really? Because Faye in a one class by yourself, sir.
Mm-hmm. That is true, but I mean, you start a little competition now with the Jamaica thing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lady D, I am live. I am live on my Facebook page. You see,
Yes.
and I have on a sexy mask
Oh, what kind of mask?
because a sexy mask because it suddenly dawned on me. You see that these days we're not able to see anybody's face. So I suspect that if people are going to be sooner or later, this is how people are going to introduce themselves, and they're going to approach people. You know, they're gonna look at you and say, "Hey there, I like your mask." Yeah, your mask.
Not you,
Your mask.
not you, not your face, not your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not seeing anybody's
not
face
seeing
anymore.
nobody.
So I mean, it's the mask that is going to attract you now. You know. So I mean, we have to make sure that our mask is very attractive
Oh, dear
because nobody's seeing our faces anymore. So. Are you wearing your sexy mask, Lady? Because I have my own.
No, no, no. No, I'm not. I'm. And what color is it? I need to go on and see you. What color is it?
Yeah, it's black.
Okay.
Yeah. So but yeah, man, it's a new thing, you know.
All right.
So you have to make sure that you get in the trend, you know, because if you want to attract anybody, I don't know, you might be off the market because I don't know if you're still because you're of that age where you're talking about the topic this evening. Where what age is it to date? Or what was the topic? Too old to date.
Right.
So
Well,
anyway,
let's see, because it's not about me.
it's not.
It's not about me. Too old to date.
Right.
Right. So, Chris,
Okay, I hear you.
then I saw your dress. So let me see. I'm looking at you on my phone.
Yes, no, Casey, it's a mask, though. Mask, me a mask up, you know.
What's this? After all. Okay. So the donkey story. So last week was soup. This week is donkey, you know, in a Jamaica thing. And Hortense gave me her story. DL just called and shared, you know, a few bits and pieces of information. And that's why I like fast facts on the donkey history. And you don't have any donkey story before we get into our segment?
My donkey story, I think most of us who grew up country have a little bit of donkey story, you know. And I grew up, my parents never have any donkey, but my neighbor had a donkey, and they had bush or what they call ground. And I always want to go ground, you know, so sometimes my parents don't want me to come out of the yard or anything like that, but I thief away. But you know, boys will be boys. I always thief away and go ground, you know, and I always wanted to ride the donkey. Because I see them riding the donkey. And sometimes they'd ride the donkey, as they say, with the hamper, and sometimes not.
Yes.
You know, but these guys, their donkey never had a hamper. But they were able to ride the donkey. And, you know, when they're riding the donkey, you know, they giddy up. And, you know, and I always envy them. I wanted to ride the donkey. So I said to them, listen, I want to learn to ride the donkey, you know. And they say, you can't ride the donkey, make Papa see you, know, so you have to come a bush. I said, all right, go come a bush with you. So this particular day, I went to bush, and they decided to put me on the donkey. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I just wouldn't see still on the donkey. Every time the donkey moved, I would bounce up and down on the donkey. And the donkey was uncomfortable, and they never liked that. So the donkey started to gallop with me on it. So they had to take me half of the donkey. And needless to say, I never learned to ride the donkey because the donkey and me just not agree every time. I just keep bouncing up on top of the donkey, and the donkey keep running away. Luckily, me never fall off like you.
No, definitely. I'm telling you. I still have taste of the sweet sugar and water and the yellow mug.
Yeah, well, that's my donkey story there. I never forget the sugar water.
Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you know how Chris Wilby and we roll on a Monday afternoon at 6 o'clock. It's 5 minutes past 6. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. Brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx. Okay, Chris Wilby, let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once more, and welcome to another evening. Let's get to the news. Lady D, Toots to get Hero Spark burial. That's the story I'm starting with this afternoon. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, has announced that reggae legend Toots Hibbert will be laid to rest in National Heroes Park. Minister Grange said this had become possible thanks to the generosity of the family of the late Charles Hyatt, the actor, broadcaster, director, and author, whose remains were due to be reinterred in the last burial spot for cultural icons at National Heroes Park. In a statement, Grange said that Hyatt had requested to be buried in National Heroes Park, but they were told that there were no more spaces available, and he was instead interred at the Meadows Memorial Park in St. Catherine. It was later discovered that there was one final burial space available in the relevant section of National Heroes Park, and the government went back to the family, who decided that they would exhume Hyatt's remains and re-enter them in National Heroes Park. It has been several years since that decision. Earlier this week, Toots' burial had to be abandoned as the family could not produce an order authorizing the interment. Toots, 77, died at the University Hospital of the West Indies on September 11th, nearly 2 weeks after he tested positive for COVID-19. Grange stated that given the current need for a suitable burial place for the late Toots Hibbert, the Hyatt family had considered to allow the reggae legend to be interred in the final burial spot in the section for cultural icons in National Heroes Park. She said, "I received the approval from Prime Minister Andrew Holness to proceed with plans for the interment of Toots Hibbert in National Heroes Park. I deeply appreciate the consideration of the Hyatt family in this matter." Toots is without question one of the pioneers of reggae music. He has even been credited with giving the genre its name. He is a national treasure whose humble demeanor and affable personality belied his towering global stature. Interment in National Heroes Park will suitably memorialize his contribution to Jamaica and reignite the unity in his family, among his peers and his fans, which is required at this time, Grange said. Grange has also endorsed plans to erect a monument of Toots in his hometown. Lady D.
As the nation celebrates and remembers its slate of national heroes, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging Jamaicans not to forget the country's modern-day heroes. In his National Heroes Day address, the Prime Minister said, "As we celebrate Heroes Day 2020, we must also recognize our modern-day heroes and salute the country's frontline workers for the critical role they play as we unite to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, on behalf of a grateful nation, I say thank you," he said. Holness also encouraged citizens to stay optimistic during the global pandemic. Whilst the onset of COVID-19 has temporarily set back our progress, your government is optimistic about our recovery. We are resilient, strong, and together we will build forward stronger, he said. As we celebrate National Heroes Day 2020 under the theme Celebrating a Heritage of Resilience and Pride, I remind all Jamaicans to display the resilient spirit we are known for by continuing to observe COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask. Wash your hands, sanitize, social distance, he added. The Prime Minister and several cabinet members this morning honored the island's 7 national heroes with a wreath-laying ceremony at the National Heroes Park. He urged the nation to not let the contribution of the heroes be forgotten. We must teach our young people the history of our nation so that they can take pride in the resilience of our ancestors and be inspired to emulate their greatness. National Heroes Day is observed on the 3rd Monday of October each year.
IMO plans to move ex-cons from parole to payroll. A Jamaican who spent 10 years in prison for the murder of his child's mother and has been making his mark as an entertainer is urging the government to make provision for the employment of ex-cons. Howard Davis, who goes by the name Ayamor, said it is extremely difficult for former offenders to get jobs. He feels that, as part of a move to reintegrate persons into society, the government should take the lead and create opportunities for persons who have paid their price to society. He said, we need things that can facilitate us re-entering the society, and I'm not seeing that so far. Ayamor said the Prime Minister should opt to take at least 4 ex-inmates and work with them and try to get them employment in areas that they are good at. Since leaving prison in 2016, Ayamor has taken up farming as he seeks to advance his musical career. He also has plans to start a construction company, which he intends to call From Parole to Payroll, to facilitate the employment of ex-cons. He said, "Me on a positive path now, and they always tell youths in the prison to change themselves for the better. The only me become so powerful is because me start garner myself in a positive direction. While in prison, me just start lotion my skin, clip my toenail, wash my ear, and things start." Ayamor, now 40, was 25 at the time when he killed his child's mother in a fit of rage. He was angry because relatives and friends teased him that his daughter was a jacket. Looking back, he expressed that he regrets his actions and he suspects that there are people who may not have a favorable opinion of him because of what he did. He said, "People will always view you in their way. I have to view myself in my own way. Christ would want to see me. From Christ is pleased with me, I'm all good." He hints or distraction from people. The Grants St. Andrew resident is an entrepreneur and certified peer counselor. He has also been making strides on the local music scene. One of his most recent songs is a collaboration with reggae artist Sizzla. The past is the past, and I'm on a path to be to something better. Can I use the past? No one should. I am more reasoned. Didn't
Health officials in New York delivered a ban days before a scheduled wedding after receiving reports that upwards of 10,000 individuals were scheduled to attend the ceremony in Brooklyn, Governor Andrew Cuomo said. At his briefing Saturday, the governor explained that state officials received word of a wedding after the Rockland County Sheriff's Office issued a warning against attending an event in clear violation of gathering limits. New York Health Commissioner Dr. Howard Duker signed a Section 16 order prohibiting the mass gathering at a Hasidic synagogue in Williamsburg on Monday. The order was served Friday evening by the New York City Sheriff's Department. Although the location of the wedding was projected to be held outside of the red, orange, and yellow COVID cluster zones, under careful watch by city and state officials, the projected size of the event triggered action from state officials in accordance with current gathering limits. Cuomo said, "We received a suggestion that was happening. We did an investigation and found it was likely true." The state had not heard back from the parties served the shutdown order, but they have the opportunity to request a hearing with Zucker Beth Garvey, special counsel to the governor. Leaders of the synagogue said COVID safety restrictions had been considered during the planning of the ceremony. In a statement released late Saturday, they said the majority of attendees had been expected to participate for a short period of time and in accordance with the social distancing regulations. After the shutdown order and widespread attention was brought to the event, organizers say outside guests will no longer be permitted to attend and the event will be attended by close family only. Tensions have escalated in the past week in Brooklyn between residents living in the neighborhood clusters and city and state officials. Lawsuits filed against the state accuse Governor Cuomo of anti-Semitic discrimination after the recent crackdown on religious gatherings with cluster zones. The lawsuit filed in federal court this week accused the governor of making negative, false, and discriminatory statements about the Jewish Orthodox community as he imposed new coronavirus measures to counter the state's rising infection rate in so-called red zone areas. 17 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, alongside the gentleman whose name is
Chris Wilby from Caribbean Vibes Radio.
Absolutely. Coming up in seconds is our segment Community Life. In Community Life, we have two topics to discuss, and I invite Sandra Dale, who is listening at the moment, to call in to our radio station. The telephone number is 914-600-4228 as we begin our discussion. Too old to date? That will be the second discussion. Grown children often dictate to their parents about dating. Where should the line be drawn? Mama, you're too old. Papa, you're too old. You don't want nobody. Okay? And then we will be now discussing about deportees, discrimination, isolation, and the hardship they face in Jamaica. Now, Sandra is a friend of mine. We worship together. And she has a relative in Jamaica. Hey, Paul, I have not seen Paul in a while, unless Paul has been on your neck of the woods.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I see Paul all the time.
Oh, well, he switched.
What do you think to you, Paul?
Paul switched on me, but such is life. I seem proper on this end. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Miss Dale.
Yes, Lady D. Good evening.
Yes, how you doing, Sandra?
I'm excited.
Wow, you're excited because you're talking to us live.
Yes, live. Yes.
Absolutely. Please go ahead and say hi to Chris Wilby.
Good evening, Mr. Wilby. How are you?
Good evening, ma'am. I am good, thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yes, and the pleasure is ours having you here today, Sandra. So let's start talking. You have a relative in Jamaica. Something happened,
Yes.
and he was sent home. He was deported. And
Yes.
now a year later, he's still having challenges in Jamaica. So I'd like you to just very briefly, in a nutshell, share what has happened, where he is today, and why you want to bring this to the platform for everyone to hear.
Well, Lady D, I just have to let you know that, as a woman, I don't know if I can do the nutshell thing because I got a lot to say. But I'll try my best.
You do the nutshell thing. It requires that today.
Okay. Okay, so my relative, he came to the U.S. as a baby at 1 year old, and he's been living in Queens. And as an adult, growing up, young adult, everybody has the little scrapes and bumps. And unfortunately, he got into something else. It's nothing dangerous or anything, like if you get a crime, like, car, like a fight or something, and it escalates. Anyway, he was sent home. And he was sent home last year, June, and his mother lives in Jamaica, and he was here with his grandmother. And he's trying to settle in, and it's new to him because he left Jamaica when he was 1 year old. He has a very deep American accent, and sometimes he tells me that he doesn't even open his mouth to speak because, his accent is so deep.
Right.
Anyway, he's been trying to get a job, and he had gotten something last year working in a hotel to build this hotel down on the North Coast. And because of the COVID, the second project was not able to happen. So that leaves him stranded. So he had gotten some work. It took him over a year. He just recently received his ID. It took him a year to get his ID. He had a TRN, I think that's what they call it, TRN. He had the number, but he never received the card till finally he got the card. So my frustration is that we're in the 21st century, and I don't understand why it's so backwards, because people that is sent home, they're using the word national. Because when I spoke to someone from Foreign Affairs and Trade, that was the word used. And I'm just asking maybe for us to shed some light on this, because these persons are being stigmatized because they were sent home. So you don't know what's the reason why I was sent home, but you just put me in a barrel like others who commit various crimes, and you just shut the door on me.
Okay. So share some of the responses that he has gotten so we can understand. He applies for a job, or he's...
Okay, yes. He applied for a job. We did the resume and everything while he was waiting for his ID, and he got it, and he applied for a job. And he called, and the person said, why are you looking for a job? And he said, because I need to work. He said, but what, are you a scammer? And he said, no, I'm not a scammer. I'm here. So why are you in Jamaica looking for a job? He says, I'm here helping my mom, and I need a job to work so I can survive. And he said, there's so much, the person said, there's so much work in America. Why you want to come to Jamaica and work? So we didn't even give him a chance for him to talk more. And he just got frustrated, and he hung up the phone. And then he called me, and he was very angry. And I am just trying to advocate that I have known other people, persons that was deported home, and it took a long time because of the accent that they had. And females might have a better chance getting a job, but I think it's harder for the male. So I reached out to Lady D, and she gave me some highlights and some centers that actually did something, one of them which is Fury. And when I mentioned it to him, he said, oh, Sandra, I know that name, because when I came down and I was at camp, and they gave us one patty, soda and water, and said, we will reach out to you or we can sign you. So we've been trying to call Fury now for over a week, and Fury has no answer, and we don't know what happened. So again, I reached out to Foreign Affairs and Trade, and I got somewhere. Got a nice young lady, and I explained I'm just trying to find resources. What are they doing for
Yes.
the Jamaican nationals who have been returned home. It's like you come home from war, and what you gonna do now? So, she was very nice, and she said she's gonna look into it for me. And then Friday evening, I got an email from her, and the email was like a slap in my face, slap on my wrist, and I'm highly disappointed. And I'm gonna return my answer on that email because I don't think that email is just not. It doesn't help. Like she Googled it. We couldn't Google that.
Okay, so they sent you some information and referred you to other agencies that you can contact.
Right.
Okay. Now,
So there's two agencies, two in Kingston. Yeah, one is for Montego Bay.
all right. So so we appreciate the fact that Chris, Mr. Wilby.
Yes, Lady, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I am here.
All right.
I was staying silent because I am not sure how clearly you are hearing her, but I personally am not hearing. I'm hearing bits and pieces of what she's saying, so I
Okay.
assume that you are hearing. So I did not interrupt. 'Cause-
Oh, I'm hearing her,
Right.
but I'm told there's a bit of static on the line, and it seems I'm not sure if it's from her end, because
Oh, and
when you're talking to me, it's very clear. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not here. Is she on a speakerphone?
Sandra, you have us on speaker?
no, I actually I was trying to use my other thing, so maybe that's where the problem is.
Okay.
Just took it off now. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, you can't use any, you have to speak
Is
directly into your-
this better?
Chris, are you hearing her better?
Not really.
Oh, okay. So let me use my.
All right. I'd suggest you hang up and call back, Sandra.
Lady D, I'm going to hang up and use another number.
Not a problem. Okay. All right. So in essence, she is just very concerned that the reception that she has been receiving is not good. And so she was trying to find ways and means as to how to assist her family member. That's it. I know that there is a stigma concerning people who are deported. It is almost like
yes, there is.
all of a sudden everybody's a big old criminal, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this is better. I'm using a landline.
Okay. Is that
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Very, very clear.
yes?
Okay, great. So, Mr. Welby, in a nutshell, I was just saying that this individual has tried and reached out to work, because of his deep accent, because he came to America when he was 1 year old, and he was sent back home at age 40.
Oh.
So he's, it's not a gun shooting and a bad man thing and stuff like that. And, his case is a little bit eccentric because, it's still trying to get him back here because he has a green card. And he has a green card that doesn't even expired. So what I'm trying to say, in the meantime, as an adult, he's trying to live, because his mom
Right.
works, but they can't, now water rate gone up. Even his landlord, where his mom been living for years, and the landlord is telling her him don't want no deportee there. I mean, like, the stigmatization that these people are going through, and he reached out to me like his heart. There's people sleeping on the road. They're homeless. So I just want an agency that is actually something. Me as an advocate, I just want to know what are they doing. So when this young lady sent me this email from Minister of Foreign Affairs and Traders and tell me, give me this link, not even a phone number or anything, And Fury, I don't know if you know about the one in Fury, but he said when they were at Upper Camp, when they got there last year, all they gave them was a patty, a water, and a soda. And we've been calling Fury for no avail. Nobody answers.
Okay. Well, Sandra, I recommend that you keep trying because I guarantee you, the numbers that go home, people who are sent home, I believe the system doesn't have. Now, I'm just trying to understand how it works, and from just some basic information that I have, the number of people that have returned to Jamaica, the system, it's becoming so saturated because the system don't have everything in place to meet all their needs. Pretty much what most family members have been doing, and those who have opened their arms to receive, their loved ones when they return home, is just to start pooling money and who word of mouth to see how they can help them until they're properly streamlined, and when the door is open for them to get a job. Some I know as well, a family might have a business, and so they say, come work with me, kind of thing. It's not easy, and the stigma is there. It ain't going nowhere soon. Once people leave.
Well, I know that it's not going anywhere soon, Lady D. Sorry to interrupt you, but I am, as I'm saying, we have to start somewhere, because if it's not going to get any better, it's getting worse. And sometimes when people get rubbed down there or something, them say deportee. And it's not true, probably. It's people down there that is going through all kind of stuff. But I'm saying, if you have these agencies that are there, are they non-profit? Can we, can someone, like reach out to them and say maybe they can get some kind of help? But the government should, they must sweep this under the rug.
Well, now that you have actually placed yourself in this position to help, you are now getting firsthand of the deficiencies that exist in the system, and it is now becoming your role, because I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to stay here and find agencies in Jamaica that can help while he's on the ground, because he's calling you, you're having the conference calls and so on.
He's even willing. And he has quite a few of some of those people that are very intelligent people and smart. They're even willing to say they're going to create their own coalition to stop making deportees being stigmatized. He's even saying that this is crazy. Because he's so used to the American way and stuff like that, he's like, how can people live like this?
I get it, and
it hurts me. It hurts me. It hurts me because I came to America from 1979, so I'm here a long time, and I still have such a passion for my country. And stuff like that, and I have friends who are there still from high school and all of that stuff. But I just want to see us, all this other nice, frilly stuff for them are showing you what Jamaica doing and rate. What about your nationals? Even the ones who are deported.
Got you. So, well,
anybody out there wants to read, Lady D?
Yes, ma'am.
Lady D, and Mr. Wildy, anybody wants to take up this topic and reach out to me, Lady D has my number. I am so willing and able. And I'm pretty sure there's other people that will jump on the bandwagon.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling.
All right, sounds good.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, take it easy.
Yes, thank you for putting it into the spotlight.
Yes.
You're so welcome. And I'm here.
Okay? Thanks, love.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lady D. How are you, my beautiful?
All right, so I have two voices. The one that's semi-beautiful, I'll take first.
Okay, that's me, Vernon.
Hey, Vernon, my heart's skipping a beat. How are you?
I'm fine. And how are you?
I am well. It's been a while, but I trust you're well.
I listen to you all the time.
I'm still here.
I just don't call.
That's all right. Still here, pretty as a button.
But this one, I thought you only deported from the U.S. if you do some criminal activities, right?
Well, the thing is that he got in a fight. He got into a fight. Nobody never died. And I don't know if he was represented right from what I gather. But that's what I was told, and so they sent him home after a while.
Then he came here at 1, and he get deported at 40.
No, man. Yes, that's what she said.
He should be a citizen a long time.
Well,
So,
he's
I don't
not.
understand it.
No, he's not. He's still a green card holder.
I just don't get it. Something ain't right.
He's still a green card holder.
There's a lot more than what they are saying. Many more things.
There's always
I just started to say that, and you have a wonderful evening.
All right, blessings, Vernon. Thanks for calling. Okay, I hear someone else on the line.
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir. Good day, DL. Welcome back.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch that lady. I was hoping to catch the lady, but hopefully she's listening.
Yes.
I'm familiar with all these stories, especially someone who was a father player on the Fury thing.
For some reason, I'm not hearing the callers, lady. I don't know.
You're not hearing him?
No, I'm
But I
not
would
hearing the
suggest
callers
that she
at
do.
all.
All right, DL?
I'm hearing
me?
hearing that they're on the line.
Yes.
But I just hear I'm hearing them talking, but I can't make out anything. I can't comprehend anything that they're saying. So I don't know what's happening.
DL, do you mind hanging up and calling back?
I'm going to hang up and call back.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that, but I am not hearing.
You can't hear. You can't hear. Yes. So I mean, again, you know,
With the situation there, with the deportee situation where we Jamaica and the stigmatization and all of that.
yes.
It has been going on for a very long time, and
Hold on.
I don't know
Hold your
if
thought, Chris. Hold on. Good afternoon. Are you there?
Are you hearing me better now?
Chris,
loud and clear.
Yes. What happened is that when the call is generated on another computer, it isolates you. But once it comes in on one main computer and I conference, then
Okay. No, what I was saying, given I would say that I'm familiar with all these stories. You know, I was one of the persons who have been to with the Fury thing. So what I would suggest to the lady, if she's listening, I can pass on to her. Is to start back here in New York here, with the real person who is behind the Fury, the band Fury, Carmelita, I think it's Linda.
yes, I spoke to her because I reached out to
Right,
I
start
reached
back
out to
here
Karen.
because she.
Yes, so here what happened. I spoke to Carmelita.
Yeah.
Karen gave me her information. Spoke to
Yeah.
her, and she gave me the Jamaica contact. And so she says they should reach out to them. She says because of the COVID, which I explained to Sandra right now, things are maybe not all, you know, the structure kind of maybe a little weary right now, but they should keep trying. So that's
Right, so
where that
but
connection
she
came
needs-
about.
Yeah, she needs whatever happened in the application. She needs to keep going back to Carmelita because she needs to know that what's not happening. She needs to keep going back to Carmelita and give her feedback. Let her know what's going on. Don't stop. Plus, there's another organization who's aligned with Fury in Jamaica called Land of My Birth, and this was actually started by a lady who was several times deported. She was deported and she came back, and she was deported and she came back, and third time she said, you know what, I'm staying in the land of my birth, and form an organization by the same name to help people for this very same thing. So you have that down there, but she just keep sticking and talking to Carmelita. Don't give up.
So what I will
because
do,
also
what I will do, hold your thought, what I will do, because I did not give her Carmelita's number. I gave her the Jamaican number, but I have Carmelita's
no,
number.
give her a Carmelita number.
Yes, I'm going to call Carmelita and make the introduction. And then she can take it
Correct.
from
Plus
there.
all the legal things too. You may very well can be brought back here to the U.S. because they have done it.
Yes.
So she's a one-stop for all this work, for all that person may need, all things deportees in Jamaica. So get her back to Carmelita.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, good.
All right.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Okay, Chris Welby?
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, we know that the whole issue, it's very difficult number one, when someone is sent home, right? Because we know the whole psychological, emotional impact is overwhelming, especially if you have left the nation he left at 1 year old. So he has no concept of Jamaica land we love.
Right.
Except he knows he was born there. That's it. Now, whatever, and please be aware, when these kinds of scenarios are brought to the fore, we will not have all the answers. We can make recommendations. And also, viewers who are listening, if from their perception and understanding that, one, somebody is deported if they really commit a serious crime and so on, you have to understand that people will have their own take on a particular situation. So I am just encouraging those who are listening to understand that. But yes, I will take DL's recommendation. I will pass on Carmelita's information to her and tell her she has not been getting through, and let them take it from there, because we know people need help no matter what. And as far as possible, we try to help them the best way we can. Okay?
Yes.
Right. All right. So that's the first scenario. Second one, we saw a video going around on social media with children of a parent, a female. She's packing her bags and says she's going out to our boyfriend. She's going over to our boyfriend. Now, clearly, she's a grown woman. But to those two young people, it's almost as though she's out of her mind and she's old and why she wants a man. What even shocked them more is the fact, now this is all in community life. Deportation, relationships, anything. This is a part of our community life. And she's defending herself as to why she needs to go. One, she says she's been eating salt. I'm not too sure what happened there. So, Chris, maybe you can help me out. She says she been eating. And today I heard another salt story by a lady who sat before me, and I was floored because I said, but watch you. So clearly salt is linked to your desire for, physical activity. Something happening with salt. I don't know. Anyway, so the children are saying, Mama, you're old, but you want man for, and so on. So we're asking the question today, why is it that when young people see their parents, it's almost like they believe their lives are now closed and they should just live until them die without wanting to have any kind of relationship? What is it that frightens some children like that their mother, because the father is no more, right? I don't remember if she said he died. You remember, Chris, when you
Yes.
listened to that?
Yeah. To put a little perspective on the situation, these two people, they've been pranking each other for a while. I've watched a couple of videos with them. The daughter pranked the mother, and now it was the mother's turn. But it was played out in a very because the daughter had no idea that the mother would have such a serious prank on her. But it has brought, as you say, to the fore a discussion as to whether or not grown children believe that their parents of a certain age should continue dating. And Mark, this young lady had no idea that her mother was pranking her. So she was very distraught. She was very upset that her mother was packing a bag to go out and sleep out.
That's the part I like.
Right. The mother was like, she was adamant that she was going to sleep. And it almost brought the girl to tears. Yes. She was so upset. And she was like, Mama, what kind of man you want? Have we?
And they don't know.
Right. Exactly. They wanted to know who. So, in some respect, I understand their concern, because she's, I would say, I don't want to use the word elderly, but, she's grown, and they are grown. They want to protect her somewhat, because some of the questions that they were asking were relevant, in my opinion. They wanted to find out who is this man, where are you going, and the mother was being evasive. She didn't want to answer those questions. So they were concerned because they were like, suppose something happened or whatnot. So that is one. That's one aspect of it is the fact that they're saying that she don't want any man. They have them as their children, and how do you square that part of it?
Yes.
I don't know. And let me, for the record, I've been trying to cut down on eating salt lately, so just putting that out there.
No, today a lady sat before me, and she's like, Sister Denise, she went out to go buy salt. Then she come back to me, put the salt on my desk. I'm like, why are you giving me the salt? You say you want it. I don't want no more salt because, and she went on and on. But anyway, in reality, however, this kind of situation has caused a rift in families, especially when, and we're talking about real life situation now. But that was a typical example of what happens when parents and children have a real face-off about wanting to date, wanting to have that real experience. And it just not happening. It just not
And
happening.
at what age? What age is it? So people are supposed to stop dating in the minds of their grown children. You are, because we have a lot of young mothers, right, who have grown children. And I say young because the mother will probably be 50 odd years old, you know what I mean? And then you may have a grown child at 30 who probably don't see the mother as quote unquote old and don't need any man. But as the lady said, the mother eating salt. So
let's go to the phone line. Let's go to the phone line for salt. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Community Live.
Good afternoon, Lady D. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you both?
We're both well.
I am doing fantastic.
Wonderful. I'm listening to your conversation and your discussion about this eating of the salt. It has nothing to do with the salt eating. You see,
so you eat a lot of salt?
No, I don't eat a lot of salt. No.
Okay, good.
But the fact of the matter is,
you're talking to Sister Pat here.
we were created to be social beings.
Right.
I am 69 years of age, and if I want a man, I could go get a man. So you see, when you have children, your children tend to be protective of you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to, needs, and don't forget, once a woman has had an encounter with a man, a sexual, encounter, even if she's 90 years of age, 99 years of age, the urge is going to be there. So what we do, we just ask the good Lord to put it under subjection, because that's what we were created for, to be interacting, with the opposite sex.
Yes.
And so at mom's age, if she feels that she, someone comes along and tell her she's beautiful. You know how many women are craving for that kind of attention?
Yes.
They're not getting it from their kids. But from the opposite sex, if a man tells you that you're drop-dead gorgeous and your eyes are beautiful, and you're voluptuous, and, they're telling you what you want to hear.
Yes.
So therefore, you're going to buy into that. But the children, especially the daughter here, she's trying to protect her mom because who knows, the daughter might have been in a relationship herself and she was burned. So she now is trying to protect her mother. She doesn't want her mother to go through that kind of experience because it can be very devastating.
But
So
you know
if-
what happens sometimes, Pat? If a parent
Yes.
decides to make that sacrifice for their children,
Yes.
especially if there is a love interest and they decide not to go through with it just for the sake of their children, eventually
Yes.
they are going to end up, being bitter. Because when their
course.
children are grown and gone with their own
Yes.
relationships, they are now left to struggle in the latter half of their lives, pretty much in their
Yes.
more later years of their lives, to find that love.
So there are
interest.
sometimes, there are different aspects of this thing where sometimes people believe that people just enter into relationship just for sex, and a lot of times
Yes.
it's much more than that. There is the companionship, exactly, the
Yes.
companionship,
Okay.
and there's so many aspects of relationship, but the obvious part is that you're entering into a relationship for sex. And a lot of times it is not only that. When you reach a certain age, you start to feel lonely, and you start to, especially now
Absolutely.
that the kids are, as you say, Lady D, they made the sacrifice earlier on to do certain things to protect the kids, because sometimes they don't want to bring a man into the relationship when
Right.
the
Fair
children
respect.
are young, so they protect them. And then now the children are grown and they start to feel lonely and vulnerable, and they just want to have
sometimes-
somebody who they can sit and relate to and
I
talk.
agree, and
Things
sometimes
that they
they
can't talk
make
to
the
their
wrong
children
decision.
with.
And sometimes after
Mhm.
a while, they make the wrong decision with the person, wrong person too.
Yeah, these things happen,
Yep.
Yes.
So we see when older folks get in a relationship, just as you said, Chris, it's not for the sex. It's a companionship, someone you can share, similar ideas and opinions, and you share your stories. You can relate to that individual. Sometimes the discussion, even if it's just a church discussion, but the younger kids would, look at it from a different perspective. And don't forget too that a mother's instinct is of such. Once a mother, always a mother. The younger kids now, we see that in the average household, especially where there's a single mom, you have 2 to 3 generations living in the same house. So the kids often think that mother is supposed to be there to just be a grandmother. They can have the kids and the mother take care of the children. Yeah, so they don't even drop them off, they leave them there because they're living in the same house. So mother now she's working, then she comes home and she has no time for herself. She has to be taking care of the kids. So if mom wants to go out, mom's life is in the house to take care of the kids while the young kids go out there and have their fun and just bring the kids home. So, I don't see where nothing wrong. Well, let's put the handle on it. At my age, I wouldn't want to be going out there, just to have sex with somebody. I would want to have somebody to settle down with. I wouldn't be packing no bag to go to nobody's house, because if you can't come to my house and sit and we talk, but I ain't gonna pack no bag to go to nobody's house, because you see the message that is being sent.
Yes.
That's why the daughter thinks she's going there just for the sex.
Let me see if there's another call. Let me just check. Could you hold on, Pat? Let me just check if there's another caller online.
Okay, sure.
Good afternoon. Do we have someone else online? Okay, no, because we did see. But we do have 5 minutes to end the show.
Yeah, so that's the message that's being sent. But anyway, lively discussion. Thank you guys for coming on. And you have a wonderful evening, okay? Get on safely.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And of course, the previous discussion that we had concerning the young man who was deported, we just want everyone to understand that there are resources available. Now that Sandra has brought this to the fore, you'd be surprised how many other people will be reaching out, if possible, to find out how they can get information and so on. So this is really not a lost cause. We have one final call. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi, lady.
Good day to you.
I'm enjoying your program.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Who are we? Of course, I'm here with Chris Wilby, so I'm not alone.
Good afternoon.
When the lady tell you about the salt,
About the?
You should have asked her what kind of salt is it, because I know the only kind of salt gives it high blood pressure.
Okay. All right. No.
So now be careful.
Yes, yes. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Thank
dear
you.
Lord. Okay, you have a nice evening.
Yes, you too. Okay, bye-bye. All right, we got to go.
Bye-bye.
But Sandra, more help coming to you. I see you're having a conversation there with Paul. So right away, Paul is ready to, pass on some links.
To be right. Paul is ready to be an advocate.
Absolutely.
That's good. Yeah, that is good. Absolutely. Oh, look at the time.
Indeed.
Wow.
Time
time sure fly when you're having fun, eh?
Indeed. All right,
Yeah.
let's. Okay, so we have
yes,
3
Lady
minutes.
D,
Hold
so-
on 1 second. Good afternoon. You have 1 minute.
Yeah, no, quickly. Regarding your dating subject, I have found that it's mostly mothers who are always getting flack about where you do a date. The fathers never really get it,
No, sir, they can go on and on forever.
Yeah, and as for Pat, I don't see anything wrong with a 69-year-old woman packing her bag because it's been overnight.
That's a new topic for a different show.
Pack your bags and come.
That's a different topic for a different show, man. Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you, though.
So Pat better wake up.
Listen, life begins at 40, So I mean,
Yes.
Anything over that is just living.
And 40 is the new 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, okay.
All right, thanks. Lordy. All right. So.
Lady D, as we wrap up, I remember growing up, and I used to see when my mother was in her 30s. I came of age, and I thought my mother was old. I thought my mother was an old lady. And now I am approaching a certain age, and I don't think
Your age, you can't call your age. Lord, the other day I looked at a photograph of myself and I compared it to a most recent photograph, and I said, when you're maturing, I'm not going to use the word aging, but when you're when you're maturing, you don't really see it, Is one where you kind of stand up before the mirror and say,
oh, yeah, and you're like, oh, weird.
I've gotten older. And that was the more
I'm gonna give you remind me next week to give you a story about me. I almost went into depression, So I think that's a good way to end the show. Let's pick it up next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear my story of how I almost got into depression when I realized I was getting mature, as they did say, you have to tune in for part 2 next week.
So we can have that discussion in community life.
No, absolutely. I am willing to discuss it, man. I'm willing to share the headlines.
How is maturing
let's
working?
talk about it.
How is it working for you when you're maturing? Okay.
Exactly. And when you find out at what age did you find out that you were maturing?
Right.
It was fun. I look forward to being here next week. Let's do it all over again. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening.
A lot
My
of
listeners.
blessings, Chris will be. Take it easy. Bye. All right. So we'll talk about, maturing. We're not going to use no aging word around here. But anyway, I do apologize to the callers that are calling in, but we are now ending the show. I thank everyone for tuning in today. Thanks to Sandra for calling in and sharing her concerns about her relative who got deported. And of course, we will be connecting her with credible resource agencies to assist him while he is in Jamaica. He needs a job. He needs to live like everybody else. And to those of you who are of a certain age and you are now considering dating and so on, please don't let nobody dissuade you from doing that. Go ahead, spruce up yourself and go meet who you want to meet. Life is short. We only pass through this world one time. And not many of us will end up, having married and so on. And everybody will go married. Truth be told. But if you are, or if you have someone in your life, then you're grateful and you just do what you need to do. Blessings, everybody. Thanks to Cooler Runnings, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx, for sponsoring the show, and for you, my very diligent audience, for sticking and staying with me. I do appreciate you. What would I do? I would come here and talk all by myself. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember, in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. A lot of love and blessings, everybody. I am out of here.
Them start to fit, them start to upshape my clothes, them start to look good. Since you start to go back to City White Laundromat, located at 277 Eastern Street in Mount Vernon, and you can call them right now. Their telephone number is 91.